All right.
Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
And we won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this? How you cannot go
baby,
here?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and their
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how is everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing on up. I know it is what's today? Monday. I ain't got to work today, so I'm gonna do a little bit. I was trying to come on a little bit earlier. I want to thank everybody for showing up. Sanjay is in the building. Woke the God is here. Lisa Taylor's in here. Those is all the mod. Monique Hall is in the building, and Zena Tober is in the building. You guys, guess what? And for the last minute, I didn't know what we were going to talk about. Melina is in the building. How you doing, sweetheart? Thank you for coming on over and spending just a little bit of time with us today. I do say that usually when we come on, there's always something that rattles my brain. And sometimes, when you don't do this full time, we don't come on full time. This is not my job, or I get paid to do this or anything. But I want to share something with you guys that just caught my eye. And it's a reason for it, because sometimes you go through things in this world. I didn't take my meds this morning, and I'm just reminding myself I didn't take them, and I probably need to. Now go. Diesel said, Mama, take your meds. You want to take them? You can take them now. Sit down, boy. Down. Go down. Sit down, baby. You're so sweet. You're so cute. Diesel's so cute. He's like, are we gonna do some training today, mama? Anyway, you guys, on the Naziah Harris case, I knew somebody was gonna call me. No, we're not doing that today. Hey, we're not. They can do it all they want. We're not doing it today. I want to share some with you guys on the Naziah Harris case. And it just seems weird to me. I would show you what you need to do and you can see it for yourself. But let me share with you something that I ran across. I can't find it right now. I didn't think it was anything important, but I guess it was. By the time I looked back for it, I can't find it. Diesel, what are you in? Go sit down somewhere. So, there's this young lady that's been missing for maybe like about 3 or 4 years. I don't remember what her name was, you guys. It was posted that she's been missing. I can't even remember what state she was in, but they found her. Well, they didn't find her, but let me share with you. They said that they found some remains and they did a dental check with the remains and they said, oh, she's deceased. And so the way her body was left, I guess she had went missing back in somewhere like in a February, and they found this body in like March or May, and they said, well, you can't really identify the body, but we have the dental records. So let's go in there, and I would try to look it up, but I'm saving something on my phone. So they went and looked up the dental records and they said, yep, this is your daughter. And so, the father was a little sad about it. The mom was sad about it. So they went ahead and cremated her body. Okay. Okay, Diesel, get out of here. They cremated her body. And so when her mother had passed away, they took her remains, her ashes, and they put it in this necklace and they mixed her remains with the mother's remains ashes. And so they keep this on their heart, like they wrap it around their neck so it can be close to their heart. You guys understand what I'm saying? Put a one in the box. And I've never wanted to put ashes around in a little vase, and I've never wanted to do that. I thought it was symbolic, and I just couldn't do it. But people do it. People do it. So this man, which is her father, he done that. And if anybody knows where this article is at, send it to me, because I'm trying to explain to you, like, some things come to me and it doesn't make sense, but now I want to talk to you about it, and I didn't save it, because if I saved everything that my spirit speaks to me on, it would be a whole lot. Because I do want to speak about disrespect, but nevertheless, I'm gonna try to stay focused on what my spirit had said to me today. So I can only just tell you about the article. It was posted today. I can't find it to share with you, so you're just going to have to take the clip notes of what I remember. So it's on the news. The father came on the news and they said, you know what? Somebody sent a post where this young lady had graduated some program and it was dated, this year. Now, this girl went missing like 3-4 years ago. And she's holding up this certificate that she had gotten. And guess what? It was his daughter. And he said, that's my daughter. That's my, then who is in this bottle that we done cremated? And the state has said that my child was deceased, and they got the dental record, and the dental record shows that this was my child. Well, they said, how can this happen? So they asked the news, how could this happen? So for years, you guys not only cremated this person, but you mixed the ashes with the mama ashes, and y'all carrying this around your neck. And the father was devastated because, first of all, his daughter is alive. But not only that, he carrying around somebody else's ashes with the mama ashes. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. This is why I tell people all the time, when you in the healthcare, you see all kind of crazy stuff and mixed up, and people make mistakes all the time. I told you about this girl that thought she had AIDS, and I told her, I said, girl, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'll go with you. We went in. We prayed about it. We prayed about it. And she said, no, mama. Her name is Nadia. I told you, girls that have issues and stuff like, they call me mama. She said, no, mama. I was the only one she told that they told her she had AIDS. So I went to the facility so they could start her treatments on taking this medication. The doctor name is Dr. Love, Donna Love, or something of that nature. She matter of fact, she's the founder of the AIDS program and taking whatever medication and stuff. And the only reason why I felt that way is because I took care of this kid and they told me that he had AIDS, and then come to find out he did not. So I just could not believe it for this young lady. She kept on telling me she clean. She a clean woman, she take baths and all this other stuff. I said, girl, hey, you sleeping with, your baby's daddy, and he's sleeping all over the place. He can have it or whatever. And she didn't want to tell her job because she think that they was going to treat her some kind of way. You deal with people like that, and you try to come up with some kind of solution or whatever. Anyway, I know you guys don't know this, but I'm going to tell it to you. Hey, Miss Phyllis, how you doing? Anyway, I went to this doctor's meeting with her, and they were like, I said, can she take the test again? She said, I sent it to you. Okay. Thank you, Zan. I knew somebody was gonna find it. Oh, you found it on Facebook. Girl, I don't think I can find it on Facebook. Not on this phone. But at least you know what I'm talking about. Anywho's. Yeah, I don't think maybe it will show up. Anywho's, let me finish telling you guys. So this girl, yeah, that's it. And that's the right one. That is the right one. You girl, you good. You quick with it too. You good. That's the girl. And anywho's, because I was trying to tell her about it, to go to the hospital to see his reaction, but it's his daughter. And I mean, he running to the phone and everything, and he's just so happy. Now let me skip back, because see, I'm just so happy that, let me put this on hold. That I just didn't want you guys to think I told you a lie. Because I told it to you. Thank you. I appreciate you, Zan. I appreciate you. So back to the one story I was telling you. But this all going to coincide to what I'm trying to say, you guys. I'm not off focus. So the young lady, Nadia, I told them, I said, can she take the test again? It was like, man, we've done already took the test 3 times or whatever. I said, yes, you've taken the test 3 times, but I'm here. I'm like, get the heck out of here. They're looking at me like, ma'am, you're not going to make a big difference. I know. But here's the thing. I'm her mother. And here's the thing. I don't believe what you guys are saying. She don't believe what you guys are saying. And, you know, I had to throw the little title card in there. I'm like, and I'm a nurse. And if you want her to be in compliance to taking the medication, why would you not let her take the test again and let us see it? Let's see it let me see it so I can support her without having a negative thought in my mind that my child is going to take this medication for the rest of her life. And I can be really more supportive to her. So they called the doctor in, and the doctor, they were like, ma'am, let me just get the doctor. So the doctor come in, and the doctor was like, well, we've showed it to her, and she knows all the ins and the outs. So I said, but doctor, I don't know the ins or the outs. You told it to this child of mine, and she was grown. She's like 20. She was like 24, 25 at the time. And she can't even tell her biological mother. So she got me. And I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I just don't. I prayed about it and I just don't believe it. So, and I want her to be compliant and taking her medication, and I want to be knowing I'm telling her to do the right thing, but I just don't believe it. For some reason, I don't believe it. I prayed about it, and the Lord said it's going to be okay. And I told her it's going to be okay. But let me see it. She says, okay. So she calls the nurse back in and tells the nurse, okay, this is what they do. It's called a rapid test. We're going to take another rapid test. And that's going to settle it. Okay. So the rapid test is she go pee in a cup, just like if you were pregnant or whatever. You pee in a cup, you stick the little paper thing in the thing, and it's almost like COVID. You're either going to get a positive or a negative. Okay, you get a negative, guess what? You don't have it. You get a positive, you have it. Whatever. It's the same thing, you guys. I can't remember what it's called, but it is a rapid test. A rapid test, it only means it takes 5-10 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's a rapid test, blood test, or whatever. It is more accurate than anything else. It doesn't matter. People was like, yeah, but you're going to need more tests. Let me tell you what the doctor said. She went in the bathroom, peed in the cup. They took the test. We're sitting there waiting. She's jumping up and down. She was like, really being really happy and nice and everything. Now, this girl, Nadia, we do not look alike. She's not African-American. She is Spanish. And she does still call me Mama. She calls me Maria. But anyway, nevertheless, she was like, Mama. And she kept getting up, looking at the test. She was like, it hadn't moved. Mama, it hadn't moved. And I have to tell you guys these stories because they're true. And so we're sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and we continue to wait for this test to show us a positive or a negative. You got 2 lines mean positive. 1 line means negative. So you guys know how this ends, right? If you know how this ends, because I've told you this story before, put a 1 in the box. After 15 minutes, because that's what a rapid test takes, literally 15 minutes. You really actually know after 7 minutes. Oh, you're going to see that sign. So after 10 minutes, she's still saying, Mama, I only see 1 sign. I only see 1 line. I'm sorry. I said, I know. Guess what, you guys? It never showed up. The second line never showed up. She was like, what, Mama? What does that mean? I said, that means you don't have it, baby. She was like, She can't even believe what I'm saying. It was like, I don't know right now. When I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, God is real. For real, for real. Y'all, you can't make this stupid stuff up that I tell you guys. You can't do it. So the nurse comes in and she was like, oh my goodness. Let me call the doctor. So she called the nurse and she was like, hurry up, come in room B, come in room B. She don't understand what's going on. She didn't understand what was going on. So all of them's in there and their mind is flabbergasted. They're wondering, how in the world is it not showing up 2 lines that says that this young lady has AIDS? And so when the doctor comes in, the doctor's like, are you guys sure she peed in the cup and not mama? Woman, if you don't get your raggedy tail up out of here, why would I pee in the cup? We coming to get clarification. We don't need confusion. We got confusion and trauma when you told this child she had AIDS. I didn't go out the room. She ain't got a balloon full of pee. This is her pee. And the doctor said, well, she don't have AIDS then. So Nadia says, do I need to do more tests? I said, girl, if you don't sit your tail down, I just said, that's it. Come to find out that it's not even documented yet, you guys. I'm going to tell you what they said it could have been. It's a negative positive because she had a miscarriage that triggered that she has AIDS because her antibodies or something was over processing like she was still pregnant or whatever. However they wanted to answer why they got a positive before, I'm telling you guys, we went through this bull crap and I couldn't freaking believe it. It's true. It happened. Okay. So now, focusing on this man, that child had been missing. They did this dental and found out they done cremated somebody and they put the ashes in the necklace and mixed it with the mama ashes and carrying it around. This man gets a phone call, look at this post, and he sees his daughter holding up some kind of certificate that she done got in 2024, 2025. But she been missing for 3 years. They done cremated her. So how has that happened? They say, how did it happen? You know what they said? They said she probably let somebody use her insurance and it's their dental records. And that's how we identified her. So whoever used her insurance and they got the dental records. So dental records is not a sure thing that that's that particular person anymore. You guys get what I'm saying? Now, I had to tell you guys that to share this with you because I always not just want to keep hope alive, but I was thinking, I went back over what Shannon Jones was saying about Naziah being missing. The only reason why they say Naziah is missing is because there's no posts. There's no media activity going on. There's no media activity. Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm still not convinced. I don't care. I'm still not convinced. Now, so what I did was I Googled, and you guys can Google this too if you want to. I Googled girl found Detroit. You know why I Googled girl found Detroit? I'll put it in the chat so you guys won't Google the wrong thing. Don't do it right now, but you can do it after. we get off of here. I Googled this because I was going to share with you guys the story I just told you about the man and his child was missing for 3 years, and all of a sudden they see her on a social media holding up some kind of certificate, and it's his daughter, and they don't know who they done cremated and wearing around the neck. So when I Googled girl found Detroit, AI, that's artificial intelligence overview, says based on the search results, there have been several instances of girls being found in the Detroit area recently. Here's a summary. This is what it says. Hey, Breen. How's it going? So the first thing that they have a 17-year-old girl missing since Easter was found in North Carolina and reunited with her mother. Okay, there's a dot there. The second one says a family, see, she was reunited. Okay, she was reunited. The second one says a family confirmed that the body of missing teen London Thomas has been found. That's number 2. The third one says, okay, so there's a body. So the first one was reunited. The second one, there's a body. The third one says a missing teen girl who ran away from a youth facility was found, and police are investigating potential human trafficking. That's number 4. Then number 5, it says a missing 17-year-old girl from Detroit was reported found safe. All of these people are found safe, or reunited, or came back home. Here's another one. It says a 16-year-old girl from Dearborn Heights was found safe. Okay? They're telling you all the people that has been found. Then they say Naziah Harris, a 13-year-old girl missing since January, was the subject of an intense police search, including a grid search and investigation into her disappearance. They didn't say found. They didn't say reunited. They didn't say body. But what the whole thing, what I'm trying to say is, let me back up a little bit. Let me finish reading you the little bullets that they got. The body of a young woman was found in a death investigation is underway. Okay. Here's another bullet. A woman missing since 2017 was found alive in Detroit area motel. We talked about that one. Remember? Okay, here's another one. A child found alone on Mother's Day was reunited with her family. Found. Okay, another one. Here's the last one. A nonverbal child found wandering was reunited with family. Isn't it weird that the topic is based on, look at the topic. Okay, Diesel wanting to go outside because he's thinking, what is it, baby? You want to go outside? So based on what the topic was, you guys, I'm just trying to think about what I just said. This is what AI overview says. Based on the search results, there have been several instances of girls being found in the Detroit area recently. Here's a summary. Tell me something, you guys. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. Based on the search results, there have been several instances of girls being found. This is the topic. This is the topic. Do you not know when you take an IQ test or a TEAS test or a school test to get into a certain program or class or a degree, they give you an IQ test. One of the IQ tests is reading. When you're reading, you have to know what the topic is. You got to know what it's based around. It's not based around it's based around found girls in the Detroit area. These are the common things that this topic is saying. Let me write out the words for you. This is how you pass tests. So if this was the subject, if this is the leading subject, we're going to take out key words here. One is based on search results. These are search results. So that's the main thing right here. These are search results. These are results. There have been several instances. So there's going to say there's more than one. So we know that when we're talking about this paragraph here, there's more than one. You're going to give us more than one search result of what? Instances of girls being found. I'm not even tripping if it's dead or alive, but it's being found. This is the subject, being found. So we know that in this group of searches, that the several instances that you're going to give us right now, okay, we're taking a reading, we're going over a review of reading, of understanding, comprehension. I'm not making this up. It's called comprehension in your reading. So before I even read anything else, I'm pretty sure they're going to give me a search results. They're going to give me more than one instances or examples or things to go under of girls being found in the Detroit area, not in Kansas, not in Topeka, not in Houston, not in Charlemagne, but it's going to be in the Detroit area recently. Exactly. Plural means more than one, many. So I'm wondering, they told us about this girl being found in North Carolina, this one being London Thomas, her body was found. Okay, this girl right here, human trafficking, she was a runaway, she was found. This girl right here, she was found safe. This girl right here, she was found safe in Dearborn. This girl right here, she was found safe with the help of a canine. Naziah Harris. Where does she fit off into this example? You guys, tell me. Tell me, where does she fit into it at? Then the body of a young woman was found. Okay, this woman missing since 2017, found alive. This child right here found alone on Mother's Day. And then the last example of the results that they have is a nonverbal child found wandering, was reunited. So you know when they say which one does not fit, I'm serious. Or could it be that there is more information about Naziah? And this is why they're so gung-ho to say, because it's weird to me that they're saying, oh, the reason why they believe that she's deceased is because there has not been no more social media. And she's, she loves social media. So she can love social media all she wants. But if she don't have a phone and she's not at school to have a tablet and she's not sharing Shannon's phone, and she's 13 years old, she don't have a job, people just not giving. Yeah, she could, but if she running away, why would she contact them? She said it was like she was never going to get out of that hellhole. You guys, if I was kin to Naziah, I would still keep hope alive. I believe she's still missing. Or maybe she's not. Or maybe the reason why they're saying what they're saying is because just guess what? They're not going to tell us everything. So when you got people saying, yes, she was wearing this, and yes, she had on that, and she was sitting right next to the TV, right, that was sitting on a red box, and all this other stuff, people going to have to be very careful of trying to take themselves out the equation, but keep themselves in the equation. You guys understand what I'm saying? Because some people want to say, there's a reason why they went way down there in Clinton looking in a pond. They're looking. That's why Shannon ain't going to say nothing. Shannon ain't going to say a word. What I'm saying, you guys, is why would they have Naziah on in the search results? She has not been found. Her body has not been found or nothing. She has not been reunited. She's the only part of the bullet that doesn't even equate with what the topic was about. I can't even make this up. You guys, I said, if you want to look at it for yourself, look at it for yourself. These are things that make you go, I just saying. This is why sometimes I get mad at family members, because they be like, well, Kim Worthy said she deceased. Kim Worthy said, you know what? Kim Worthy said a lot of things, and I'm not downing Kim Worthy. I believe Kim Worthy, it's more likely what Kim Worthy said could be more true than not true. But if it was my kid or if it was my loved one, I would still want to look. And even if it's just to bring her body home. You know what I'm saying? Because we have learned that they gonna know more stuff than we do know. But that don't give them the green light that everything that they say is true. Just like I told you before. Hey, Carla, how you doing? Hey, Phyllis, what's going on? Hey, Zena. I've run into so many people that they make mistakes. They made so many mistakes on this girl's case, it ain't even funny. They don't want to tell you guys that the reason why they really wasn't looking for her, first of all, I'm still leery of the guy's name is Harris. I'm still leery for that. And then you guys, and then the family want to get mad at everything and everybody else. Well, it starts at home. It really do. It starts at home. You got this little girl on the stand, 9 years old, testifying about seeing Naziah in a sexual position more than once. But you want us to believe you don't know nothing. Oh, you guys knew. You guys knew. Now, I'm not going to say that the extended family, like aunts and them, may know, but Annette and Annette's daughters know. For real, for real. You can't make that up. You don't know. You wasn't in that. You ain't gotta be in the house. Y'all are twins. You know. Just like your family members know what happened. They may not know the details, but you know. And nobody took it seriously. Nobody took it seriously. Nobody. She says, as far as Naziah, according to information, fam would have to be parts. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not saying, but here's the thing. The girl that came up alive, they counted her dead. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can.
I looked for it for 3 years.
He looked for it for 3 years. Listen.
Her father, Mark, even hired a private investigator who tracked Shanice to Detroit and believed she became involved in a religious cult.
So we just went on with our life, just raising the kids, because she was 28 years old when she left us. So, she's a grown woman.
But in April of last year, a Rochester police officer showed up at the door.
We tried to inform that their daughter, Shanice Cruz, has passed away. If you need to know anything else, go to the medical examiners.
So the family rushed to the Monroe County ME's office.
So when I went to go try to identify the body, they was like, the daughter been in here since February, and it was April then. And the state of her body, and you can't come in and see her.
The body was found in this wooded area along Hudson Avenue. The medical examiner's office told the family that they identified Shanice using dental records. Mark had the body cremated and held a memorial service for his daughter. Months of grieving went by until one day he got this picture from a stranger on Facebook. It's Shanice in Detroit holding up a certificate dated November 2024. The family raced back to the medical examiner's office. They were asked if one of Shanice's children could provide comparable DNA.
They took the DNA test, submitted it, and it's not a match.
Shanice is not dead. Those remains are not her.
Who is this female that we have in the urn?
The ME's office asked for the ashes back, and here's when a bad situation gets even worse. The family mixed the remains with Shanice's mother's and put them in jewelry that they all wear.
Now we don't know who acid that we mixed with her deceased mom.
The medical examiner refused my request for an interview, so I went straight to her boss. How on earth did something like this happen?
Obviously, no family should ever have to go through what this family is going through right now. And my understanding of it was they did have the remains of someone that had a dental record that could be matched. And so they go through the process, they go through, and they found what they thought was a match. Frankly, it was actually looked at now by two other professionals who looked at it and said it is a probable match. And there are also other things that could take place and other factors there. So that's what's being investigated now.
They're looking into the possibility that someone used Shanice's identity and insurance information to get dental work done, which generated the dental record the ME used to identify the body.
This is turning into a very unusual case for every professional we've talked to who's looked at this.
What changes have you asked for to try and ensure that this doesn't happen again?
So I've set a number of policies in place. Number one is that we do have a new contractor that's working on it. We've asked for a second opinion, particularly on this case, to get to the bottom of it. We decided to change the policy so that when a match is made between an individual and a dental record, we're also going to engage in DNA testing with family members to back up the work that was done with the dental.
Is it more expensive to do the DNA in addition to the dental records, or why hasn't that been the policy?
These are decisions that are determined by the medical examiner, and it's based on what they have in front of them.
That is of little comfort to the Cruz family.
I think they rushed to close a missing person case. I truly believe that. And I never think that this would happen. You know, because if this would have never happened, I was going to just be learning how to live without my daughter. You know, thinking she deceased. It's just devastating, man. I don't wish this on nobody.
But he's holding out hope that this at least gives him one more chance to reach his daughter.
I just want to know I love her, that she can come home anytime. We miss her. I got to find my daughter. Truly sleepless nights, you know.
Wow. You cannot make this stuff up. You can.
2021, Shanice Cruz.
You cannot make it up, you guys. I told you guys. Thank you, Phyllis, for the super chat. I'm putting you down, Phyllis, for the super chat. You guys know we're going to have our Christmas in July coming up. So thank you, Miss Phyllis, for your super chat. Let me give you your dance on there. Let you know that I got you in there.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
So yes, you guys. Yes, thank you, Miss Phyllis, for your super chat. So you guys, I'm glad that Zan went and found that article. I couldn't find it for the life of me, you guys. I could not find the article. I just know I read it and I was like, oh my goodness. This woman has been missing since 2021 and she's in a cult. And a stranger sent that to the family. Now, I believe the stranger could be herself, letting them know she's okay. She's okay. She's all right. But there is places in Detroit. I'm not making this up. I'm just not making it up. That people can go to, that kids go to, and they can stay there. And there, is a whole colony of people that, the government just can't come on your property and you don't know. You just don't know. So when a family member comes on and be like, oh no, she dead, she deceased, dummy, if you've been following crazy stuff. Crazy. How we give for Christmas in July. That's the only way. That's the only way, unless you send it to me personally, Miss Phyllis. That is the only way. I wanted to do the Cash App. I didn't have it set up. I'm only going to set it up for me to once you win, I'll reactivate it. But I didn't want the focus to be on that. And plus, Cash App is having a lot of stuff going on. Woke the guy says, imagine how this family, girl, imagine, his daughter is alive. And you see what I'm saying? Got a certificate in 2024 for completion of something. And they done, I'm just saying, when you do what I asked you guys to do, to look up the Naziah thing, yeah, they got her under, either, like I was telling you guys, the topic was about people missing in Detroit, but being found. Now, they didn't say they was all found alive. They said some of them was reunited. Some of them was found deceased, because we know London Thomas was found deceased. But they got Naziah in there. And you can't even make it up. So it could be a mistake, or it could be, like I said, what if they have Naziah. But they didn't want to say, we found this person. Da 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 da. You know, they'll come on and they say, well, we found a body. Da 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 da. You know, we can't give you any more details. It's an open investigation. That's how they say, we ain't telling you nothing. But people on there talking about, oh, she was sitting next to the TV. She didn't say nothing. You know, they can put a timeline on her death. People got a lot to be scared of. You know? And I know that since she did get off the bus, it would be weird if they got a timeline of death way early. Like, I wonder if they can figure out, was she deceased at around about 4 o'clock, 4:30? You know? Since people want to get on the stand and say, oh, yeah, she was doing this and doing that. I'm not saying that they're lying. I don't know if they're lying or not. I mean, I kind of wonder, why would the sister come on there unless she just do have a really good heart and she just don't want this to happen to somebody. Like, it's probably happened to her and she's just telling the truth. And everything went south when they went to Isilani. That's what I want to believe. But, you know, some people say, oh, SP, it ain't nothing wrong with telling your family member, your brother, you love them. You say you're on the stand and you're testifying, and it's definitely going to send him to the can. But you also saying, hey, this child was alive when I seen her. Look, the guy says, Emma says you can with the body. Exactly. You can get it really close. So with the woman saying that she was in Isilani, I don't really want to be very mad at somebody just because they lied, but it messes with the investigation. It does. It messes with it. Like, we've had people come on and say, oh, I went over down here to go see that baby that was in the suitcase. And we're like, really? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, now I've asked you, please don't do that. Please don't come over here. You know, we don't need clicks and views. They done already said that ain't that baby. And you're telling everybody in the chat that you done went down there and you done seen this child, and it looked like one of the California city boys. Now you really got our attention. Because now I'm getting calls talking about, well, why you didn't go and da 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 da. I was like, well, because you're not going to be able to see the baby, the body, or nothing. The girl continued to tell us the baby she's seen, that they let her see, they let a stranger come into their town and identify, look at a child. She's not related. She doesn't even live in the state. See this body that was in the suitcase. And I'm going to tell you something that made me more madder than mad itself. The people was in the chat. Big, grown women. Grown. Over 30, 40 years of age. Is sitting there eating it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, SP, you're wrong, SP, you're wrong. I'm like, how could I be wrong? There's no way she could have went there. There's no way. I'm not saying she didn't go to the town. I'm not saying she didn't rent a car. And I mean, they were on here talking about, well, what did we went and we seen the baby. Y'all remember that? Put a 1 in the chat. If you guys remember that, put a 1 in the chat. Until I got the lady on the phone and I just so happened to call, and the person that owns the place answers the phone, and I recorded it. I recorded it. And I didn't know what I was going to record, but I recorded it. And I said, hey, I wanted to see that baby that was in the suitcase. Y'all letting people see the baby in the suitcase? Because I'm not understanding. She says, no, ma'am. I said, no. I got 2 people that came down there for the funeral, and y'all showed this baby body. This woman said, I said, could you be making a mistake and one of your workers allowed it to happen? Could you be making a mistake and one of your workers let these young ladies come down there and see this child? Could you have done it? She said, there's no way. I said, how is it no way? You wasn't there. You're not there 24 hours. She said, ma'am, the baby has been buried months prior. It was nothing but bones. There's nothing to see. We put the bones in the bag. The bag is what we buried 2-3 months ago. Come back. I invited them to come to the channel, and they sat in the bushes because they knew. And then one girl was like, SP, I was there. Well, what did we see? Why would I lie? Well, why would you not lie? I don't know why would you lie. You have to ask the liar that. I'm not a liar, so you have to ask a liar, why do liars lie? Only liars know why liars lie. I don't know what you was going to get out of it. And you know, the worst thing about the situation is, here's the thing. People lie. You not only, but you want to care, say, for the children, and but you lie on a dead baby and a baby that was missing. And here's the thing, Maria. The clout is real. The clout is real. Oh, they hid their face. Some of them did. Some of them was like, oh, I know what we did. I know what I seen. I know I found the jacket and all this other stuff. You guys, I kid you not. I applaud anybody that helps putting the face out there. If that's all you can do, that's all you can do. Yeah, she held out to the end. Girl, like, and everybody was mad. And I'm gonna tell you something, and some people can get mad at me, but it's true, and I've learned this over years and years and years. I'm an older woman now. I'm what they call very seasoned. Very seasoned. I'm waiting to retire. So I look at how we, and I say we as in not only women, but Black women act. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. You can get mad all you want, but I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed. I am. I'm so like I think we do more damage than good to our children in the community. I do. Now, it ain't nothing wrong with, trying to do good or well, but the disrespect that we have, that the ignorance that we show is so embarrassing. And then the things we put our kids through. And then we wonder why. We sit back, and I'm not talking about us as this community right here. See, because I know we get out of line here and there. We do. We get out of line. But at the end of the day, we'll take what a person say, and we'll speak on it as it's a fact. Like we ain't got no sense. It's not a fact until you show me a body that she's deceased. I thank God I'm not a part of Naziah's family. That tells you alone, even in her disappearance right now, that don't even, I'm serious, you guys. Like, I was in the hospital fighting for my life. My family was coming up there crying and everything, crying. I asked my girlfriend, my girlfriend, we've been friends since we were like 3rd or 4th grade. And I'm like, I hadn't seen her in like 10 years. And she come because she done heard that I was dying. Now, ain't nobody told me I was dying. So I'm looking at her. I'm in the hospital. I don't even know who I am. But I know. I'm starting to know certain people. And I'm like, hey, Lisa, what you here for? She like, her name was Lisa. She was like, I'm crying. I said, why are you crying? She said, I'm crying for you. Girl, I wanted to tell her, which I didn't have all my mind together at that time. Because when you're in a crisis, you don't know. But I asked her, the heck you crying for me for? Ain't nothing going on here. She said, I'm crying for you because they said you're going to die. They said you dying. I said, who said I'm dying? She said, the doctor. Now, if they would have kept giving me that morphine, yeah, I would have died. But my spirit said, I don't want no more of that morphine. Exactly. We all gonna die. You know what? After she told me that, something snapped in my spirit and said, what the heck is she talking about? If I'm going to die, why am I still sitting here? Just to die? Y'all say I'm going to die? I'm just sitting here? For what? To die? I don't even want no more of your medication. I don't want no more. They was like, ma'am, you need it. I was like, I don't want no more of your medication. My mother was sitting there, and my mother was like, but baby, girl, I don't want no more. My spirit do not want no morphine, no more. Do not give me no more of that. They was like, my mother said, if my daughter says she don't want no more, do not give her no more. Do you not know if my mother would have told them, who let you in? Who let you in, Diesel? Oh my goodness. I knew it. So anyway, they would have kept giving it to me. And yeah, I would have died. What they were speaking over my life would have happened because I am, I guess, allergic to morphine. It makes me cuckoo. I'm not cuckoo, but if you keep giving me cuckoo, they had an IV pumping it in my arm. So whenever it wears off, it gives me more and gives me more and gives me more and gives me more. And my mother said, stop the morphine. Don't give her no more morphine. There's so many times in my life that somebody with titles has spoken something that I just cannot believe. I'm just being honest with you guys. That I cannot take what they're saying. And some reason, I'm not a confrontational person. But if you're telling me one thing and I'm not seeing what you're saying and it's not adding up, then I just cannot take what you're saying to be true. I told you guys, even with my first child, I went in there. My water had broke. And I'm waiting on my mother to arrive. She's at the bingo hall down in Oklahoma. I'm waiting on her to come back. They're gonna drive her back and go back and pick up the people later on. But my mother's on her way and I'm waiting. But my mother gets there. And so the nurse is doing a checkup every hour, every 2 hours. And she's telling me, oh, ma'am, you're dilated to 2. I'm screaming and crying. This is your first child? Yes, this is my first child. Well, can you give me something for the pain? No, we can't give you nothing. You're dilated to 3. And I told the nurse, ma'am, this pain that I'm feeling is not a 3. This is way over 10. We're not going to make it. I said, what are we trying to get to? This is how stupid I was. If this is a 3, what are we trying to get to? Because this is it. The nurse tells me, you got to get to a 10. I said, we're not going to make it to 10. If this is a 3, we are definitely not going to make it to 10. And I have a high tolerance of pain. So if you call this a 3, I call this a 25. We're not going to make it to 10. She says, quit exaggerating. You don't watch too many movies. I said, get out of here. I need my doctor. She says, ma'am, it's in the middle of the night. Your doctor be in the morning. No. You get out of my room. I don't want you to look at me no more. Something is wrong. She says, no, ma'am. I've got to look at you. No, you got to get out of my room. You're not looking at me no more. I need to see my doctor. I need to see my doctor now. Something is wrong. This cannot be a 3. The heck you talking about? I feel like pulling out all my teeth right now. This is not a 3. Pulling out my teeth, your teeth, going to jail and prison and everything else. And so she comes back in the room and says, can I check you? And I say, no, you cannot. You can check yourself out. Get out of here. Go get my doctor. I need a second opinion. On my deathbed. Once again. And so it was 1 o'clock in the morning. My stepfather's there. My mother's there. My baby's daddy's there. My brothers are all there. And they're like, my sister's having a hard time. And my mother's like, what do you want me to do? I said, get my doctor, mama. Get my doctor. She don't know what she's talking about. This cannot be a 3. Now, if you ever had pain before, you know what a 3 is. 3 is more like, probably falling off your bike or something, or I don't know. Having both of your feet ran over. That's a 3. I've had both of my feet ran over before. That's a 3. And breaking all my bones in both of my feet. That's a 3 to me. This was a 25. So 1 o'clock, because I won't let her look at me no more. It's crazy. You can still advocate for yourself, right, Sanjay? You have to advocate for yourself. So the doctor comes in. He has to get out of bed. He's mad. He's probably get out of bed with his wife. He's like, and he's like, I can just imagine. I don't know for sure, but I can just see him. Baby, I got to get up. One of my patients is having her baby. She won't let the nurses look at her coochie no more. It ain't all about that. Everybody in the world passing that door. They didn't close the door. They didn't close the curtain. They got my legs strapped up. Everybody in the world can see what's going on. Everybody. I didn't freaking care. I just know something's not right. So anyway, he comes wallowing in about 2 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, why are you giving the nurses a hard time? I say, doctor, they're giving me a hard time. This is not a 3. I don't know what this is, but it's not a 3. This pain I'm feeling, I've never had a baby before, but you cannot tell me. It feels like an elephant is coming down there right now. I'm finna bore a baby elephant or something. This is not a 3. You need to help me. Tell me what's going on. He says, okay, open up. Let's take a look. So yes, I'm going to let this man look and see what's going on. And he looks. And the thing that comes out of his mouth got me scared. He says, oh my goodness. This baby is coming out breech. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? The baby is coming out feet first. And she got a hold of everything in my belly with her. And her feet is like frog feet. So they're pushing up against my uterus. And she's finna tear me a whole new side. I cannot make this up, you guys. They're trying to push her back in there, and she's steady coming through. And they're trying to push her back in there, and he's like, son, they done already gave me this epidural in my back. I'm seeing all kind of stuff. I'm like, what's going on? Why y'all giving me, y'all got me papers, signing papers, and I'm under all this stuff. I'm not supposed to be signing papers after y'all done gave me epidurals and gave me Dilaudid and all kind of stuff. I remember what you guys did to me. And then I said one thing. I said, am I supposed to be signing these papers when you guys already gave me the shot in my back? That's how fast it was. They gave me the shot and then gave me the paperwork. I said, I can't even see what I'm signing. I'm not feeling no more pain anymore, you guys, because they gave me the Dilaudid, right? He says a stat C-section. That's what he says. They're gonna do a stat C-section. And they proceeded right then and there to cut my belly wide open. But I did tell them, make sure you hit the panty line. I don't want this going up and down my navel. Don't do that. Do not do that. Do the panty line. If you're gonna cut there. They was like, but that's where I cut it there. Anyway, my mother couldn't stand to see them cutting me. When they started cutting me, she was still in the room. She runs out the room, tells my brother to come in, coochie everywhere. Everywhere. And my brother, I'm telling my brother, if I tell you to do something, promise me that's what you do. And so I was telling my brother, if they have to save the baby, save the baby. Don't save me. Save the baby. And my brother said yes. My brothers in my family will do what I asked them to do. But nevertheless, they did get the baby, and she's okay. That's my oldest child. The meaning and the moral to the story is, you guys, and I say this, whether somebody has a title or whatever, sometimes things just don't add up. It's okay to be wrong. But why is it that everybody wants to say that, just because this girl is not here, like they don't know where she is? They may know. They may know. Yeah, it doesn't mean they know everything, because they don't. They don't know everything. And one thing about police and doctors, they only can do as much as the community helps them do. That's why we keep her name alive. That's why we talk about her. That's why we're still, wanting to know what happened to Naziah, because it doesn't sit well with nobody that she's not here. She's not enjoying her ninth grade right now. She would have been in the ninth grade. I would want somebody to advocate for me. Quit. I don't want people to just give up and be like, oh. Now on this guy, this dad, that his daughter, I can understand him giving up because they had dental records. But you see how crazy that is? You guys, you see how crazy that is? They had dental records. Do you know dental records put people in prison? When people come up with dental records, that could put a person in prison. Oh, your child is dead. Oh, really? Okay, well, they got a whole story behind it. Oh, yeah. And the story of Naziah is so crazy because you got this child that went to school, that laid on the floor, nobody came to see. First of all, she's got a really problem childhood with the whole family. Nobody paid attention of her having sex with a big grown man that they're having sex with, but they're sharing phones, that they're taking this child over to here to over to there. And then she's got all this downtime where she, nobody's paying attention. It ain't that they're paying attention to her. It's because guess what? He wasn't the only one grooming that child. They were grooming her too, to be like them, worthless. Oh, nobody didn't come and get me. Nobody stopped it from happening to me. Oh, gee, mainly people going to be a product of their environment because the people that's around them. That's why. Because people around them are like that. So they don't want you to have better than them. Oh, I know I'm talking now. I really am. I know it. I'm telling the truth. So you're not gonna be able to help. That's why you have to surround yourself around people that has better and more, or have a different life than you. You do. You do. Now, I'm not saying it for everybody. Everybody like everybody, I told my mom, I was like, oh, they're going to build me a house. I'm gonna put it on the other side of town. My mother was like, oh, no, baby, don't do that. You're going to be around all but white people. I was like, yeah, I know. But I can't stay over here because, I know what I'm going to do. She's like, what are you going to do? I said, one day I'm going to lose my job and I'm going to come home and my neighbor's going to say, come on over here and smoke a little bit of weed or drink and let's play some spades and some tonk and some pity pat. And then we're going to go to the club and we're going to dance and, I'm going to be in a rut. I'm going to go over here where if I lose my job, everybody in my neighborhood is going to be at work. And I'm going to feel so bad that I'm going to get up and I'm even go get a job at McDonald's. I can't be around where I'm comfortable. I got to be where I'm uncomfortable. Like if my yard is raggedy, then yeah, I am doing bad. But, they're looking at me saying, well, dang. We got a blackie or a black girl that moved in the neighborhood and her yard look nice. So they going to work on their yard and I'm going to work on my yard. She said, I want to play some tonk. But no, let's get serious, you guys. Yeah. I had to get out of my comfort zone just to do better. So, I mean, even though Naziah was 12 and 13, she didn't have the mind to do it herself. She knew. You can't tell me she didn't know that she was in a hellhole. That's what she said. That ain't even my words. That's that baby's word. She said, I ain't never getting out this hellhole. But the grown-ups can't see it. You know what grown-ups say? If you said that to them and you living in their house, you know what they say? Girl, you ought to be thankful somebody even taking care of your butt, you know, blah, 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 blah. Man. And she looked for the next best thing to try to help her get out of that horrible situation. Yeah. That's why people are mad at Shannon and Marquita and Annette. That's why they're mad. And we can't never forget about Naziah, because I believe, yeah, the grown folks, they settle. I believe that, even the extended family knew a lot of stuff. And because they were already reaching out to CPS. But and there's only so much they can do. I don't blame the extended family. I don't blame the extended family. I just don't. Because the family gonna hide, and they can hide. Like, I don't know what's going on with my nieces and nephews. I just don't. Because they don't stay with me. I'm not talking about Laquita, Marquita, and Shannon. I'm talking about the other part of the family. They may know, they may not. I don't know. But I believe that they knew because somebody made a report. Now, whether they made a report being jealous that they wanted to make her, broke, because family will do that. They'd be the first one to tell them. They'd be like, girl, you tell a secret to them, and the minute you don't do something or take them where they got to go, then they want to tell. Oh, I'm going to tell your husband that you slept with Johnny. I'm going to tell your husband Johnny took you to the casino. You're not telling for the child purposes. Oh, because you got a new car and you won't even give me a ride. I'm going to go tell. So you're not telling for the right reasons. You telling because she got more than you, or she got a man over there and he ain't looking at you, or you got a new dress, or you got a house or something. You know. Are they making money or whatever? You're not telling it for the right reason. Or you want to give them some problems because they didn't sell you their food stamps. Oh yeah, it works. It works like that. That's the black community. But just to do the right thing, and maybe she was trying to do the right thing, but now they get on TV, and it just makes me wonder why certain people. And I wanted to ask Kenya, why is it? I just wanted to ask her, why is it that I have seen you on every channel when you don't know nothing? Because you know as much as we know. If you couldn't help the child, why are you on every channel? Like, I don't know. Because you can't add to the equation and tell us anything that we don't know. Because you're saying you don't know. You didn't know. So if you didn't know, go sit down. I don't know why. I'm just not understanding why. I mean, I ain't got a problem with her. You know, I ain't mad at her. I just wonder why. If you think she's dead, why? Why? You know? Sell a shirt, but you think she's dead. But you got a shirt says, where is she? And there might be a reason why, you know, there might be a reason why. I'm just saying those are questions that, you know, I just wondered. Because I really didn't believe when she first came over here, she thought that she was just deceased. Like, well, if you believe that you found a diamond, why go look if you've got it or you know? Like, why put out there, we're looking for a diamond, but you're not looking? Or you tell people to quit looking and the police tell you to quit looking or whatever. We may never recover her. That's anybody. That's everybody. Exactly. You don't know CPS. That girl, you said a mouthful right there. You did, and you did. You said a mouthful. Hey, Jacqueline, how you doing? Naziah was looking for somebody to help her. And so the thing about this case, you guys, I'm finna get off of here. But the thing about this case that is so weird, I'm just going to say this. For something has happened to Naziah that day, January the 9th, after the Islani trip, and the way Jarvis moved around, the way he moved around, get in the room, then calling this girl, and then calling that girl, and then going by the house, and this, that, and the other. And it had already happened. Mm-hmm. It had happened. And then the next day, he over there 7 Mile and Bird. And then that's where some clothes done popped up. Some of it we don't even know. And everybody want to say, oh, that pink onesie. Yeah, she would put that on because she was pregnant and da-da-da. Yeah, you know. But then this red and black shoe that the detectives did not do a DNA on. I'm serious, you guys. Do that make any sense? They got the red and black and white shoe that you know that your feet sweats in, and they did not do a DNA on the shoe. That's like having a cake and having icing, but won't put icing on the cake. Why would you not have DNA? Why would you not, even now, if it didn't have enough time to do it now? Because there's another girl that came up missing with some red and black and white Nikes too. But why not do a DNA on the shoe? Because you sweat in your crotch area, you sweat underneath your arms, you sweat in your shoe. Some people feet sweat. My feet don't sweat, but a lot of DNA will be in a shoe. A lot of DNA will be in a shoe. Why would you just have a shoe and say it looked like the shoe? And these was not old shoes. These were new shoes. You know, people just don't throw away new shoes. Those shoes were still in good shape. And the shoe looked different. You know? But could it be, you guys, could it be the shoe belongs to that other girl that is missing down there in that Chicago area, Illinois area? I wonder about stuff like that. Maybe they already knew something we don't. Maybe have enough evidence, or maybe they don't have the money to. What do you mean they don't have the money to? You know, a missing person. Flex. Let me see. Flex and Flash says maybe. Well, you know, if you want to put a serial rapist away, you will always do DNA. That's how you put them away. It doesn't make sense. The shoe looked new. Phyllis says, for me, I still have to have solid proof unless. Exactly. Jojo says, I like to see the bottom of that shoe to see how worn it was. Flex says they could be on a budget. It costs a lot of money to do those testing. It costs a lot of money. Here's the thing, Flex. Would you put a budget in front of somebody that if it was your child, wouldn't you want to know if that was her shoe? And to prosecute this person, the defense is going to ask, why you didn't do a DNA on the shoe? You got the state behind you saying the state got to come out and show evidence. You can't have a shoe just because it look like and say that's evidence. Evidence is proof. That is her shoe. Not because she got a picture of a shoe just like that. I'm just saying. It just, okay, you know. Do it got his DNA on it? Do it got Jarvis's DNA on it? Do it got Nazia's DNA on it? Why would you not do a DNA on the shoe? Because it was weathered. Well, the shoe can hold moisture, and if that's her shoe. Flex says, oh yeah, I would also invest in a private detective, but her family don't want the outside help. Well, that's because they got a lot of things to hide. A lot. And it just don't make sense that they did not do the DNA on the shoe. Hopefully, when they come to court in October, they will do the DNA on the shoe. Jojo said, I saw Nazia wearing the shoe. Do we know what date that pic was taken? Because that shoe found was not looking. Well, Jojo, I don't know if you was in here at a previous live we did where we showed the shoe, and you seen a shoe that looked like Nazia's shoe. And you guys, sometimes my voice changes. Don't ever think that I'm yelling or anything. It's just right now I'm in my feelings about something else. So I may be very direct. And I don't want nobody to take offense. I'm just more direct because we're conversating about this shoe. And it just don't make sense. Let me see if we can find that shoe. Let me look at some pictures and see, because I knew we had the shoe up there. Let me see if I still got it or did I take it down. Here's a shoe. This is the shoe she was wearing. That's a whole different shoe. Look at the shoe. Let me explain something to you. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Let me put me on the side. I get what you're saying, JoJo, but let me share something with you. And I'm sorry you guys can't see my pointer, but there's three things that tells me this is not the same shoe. Can you guys hear me? I want you guys to understand three things. First of all, when you're looking at detail, this shoe is nowhere near the same shoe. First of all, when you look at this swoosh, you see the swoosh where it connects to the red? The shoe Naziah has on, the red comes to a stop and then curves down. You guys see that? The shoe that they found, the red goes all the way up. Okay? That's number one. Number two, when looking at this shoe, when you take a good close picture of the shoe, Naziah's shoe has black threading and this shoe has white. They said it was blood on the shoe. Let me see if I can find another image real quick for you guys. You guys, we went over the shoe and we went over the shoe. We went over the shoe. And I just... See, this is when we talked about the shoe. It's crazy. I think that's where it's just not the same shoe. It's just not even the same shoe, you guys. And so that is going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem for them. I'm trying to look where we had it. We had a big old picture of it. Diesel is up there playing with Pawpaw. and he's got something going on. Yeah, I think it's on my other phone. It's just not the same shoe. It's just not. Yeah. Anywho, yeah. You guys, we'll get into it. We'll get into it tomorrow. I just wanted to share with you guys the article about the man, and Wayman says that shoe was placed out there. Yeah, we know it was. And the thing about it is, even if it was placed out there, we know it's placed out there. But why would they place a shoe out there? Why? If Jarvis placed the shoe out there, if it was her shoe, why would he? Why would somebody just throw stuff just random? Y'all, we'll talk about it later on tonight. I just got to. I got to. Oh, it's time for Diesel's dinner. Diesel eats at 5 before I leave, so I'm not going to work tonight. But anyway, I would like to talk about the shoe a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure another channel will come and be like, well, she wants to talk about the shoe. Well, we're going to talk about the shoe. And then they'll be talking about the shoe. So, but anyway, nevertheless, I don't care. Let somebody talk about the shoe, because for some reason, if that is not her shoe, and that's the shoe of the other young lady that came up missing, that's going to be crazy. You talking about a case that's going to go crazy. Oh my God. You guys are not going to, I mean, even thinking about it, the young lady that went missing, what's her name? Not Nazaya, but Janaya. If it's her shoe, shh, what them people down there doing? That's going to be like crazy. Yeah, all the stuff was probably placed. But is these girls going somewhere into hiding? And there's a group that's taking endangered girls and putting them in, because see, we believe if they show up, then they safe. I'm gonna tell you guys something. If Nazaya showed up right now, where would you think she would end up? She would end up back with them same people. She will end up back with them. Yeah, they'll do their investigations and all this other stuff. But like Zan said, there's places, just like this young lady they're saying she's not missing now. She's just with this coat. She's with the coat. They call it a coat. And evidently, she used to have social media, and she used to be on social media all the time. Now, all of a sudden, she pops up with a certificate that says 2024. What the heck? She been missing since 2021. They still trying to locate her. They now know that she's alive. And she was 16 back then, so now she's like, what, 20, 21? I'm praying that they find her body to see what she has on. Yeah, I already can tell you what she has on. If you want me to, I'll tell you real quick. She has a white shirt on, and she's gonna have a blue uh, hoodie on. Well, she probably won't have the hoodie on, but she'll have that colorful coat everybody talking about, and that's crazy. See, I think sometimes people believe that if you just stay gone for 3, 4, 5 years, it just goes away. People do quit looking. People do quit talking about this and that. And then people make a assumption. Sometimes it's true, but you know, when people say, well, he killed her because he didn't want nobody to know she was pregnant and she was carrying his baby. Well, this family has so many secrets. They already knew he done had sex with her. They knew that. Shannon knew it. Shannon knew. So it wasn't going to be a surprise. So he would have probably only did 5 years, maybe 10 at the most. Because 5 will get you 10. You know? Couldn't let that baby be born. That's what they say. He could not let that baby be born if she was pregnant. Well, she got a picture and her face does look chunky. It does look chunky. You know? Oh, what kind of shoe they find her in? Yeah. Well, every time when we talk about this case, it's a hot mess. I get sick to my stomach because I just believe that, like you guys believe, they did this girl wrong all over the place. Everybody, the school, everybody. I can't, everybody, the school, the family, Jarvis, nobody, nobody cared. Then when she came up missing, nobody looked. Then 30 days went by, the school talking about they doing the investigation. Then they handed over to the police. And then Shannon did jump on it. Shannon Jones. But by that time, it's just golly. I mean, I'ma say this because we got 7 minutes and I'm getting off of here. But you know, you guys, we talk in depth. At one time in my life, I believe if I died, would nobody show up to the funeral? Probably just my kids. You know, serious. I just, hey, and that's a sad feeling. But when you got all these signs, and then Shannon got nerves to get on that stand and say, oh, if I seen that, it would have been the red flag for me. Girl, the red flag was hitting you all in the face. You didn't care. You cared about the man. That's all you cared about. You cared about Jarvis. Who was screwing Jarvis, and when was the next time you would have been able to? That's all you cared about. That's it. That's it in a bottle. I can't, I can't even justify it because we as women, we know exactly what you cared about. You did not care about her. We know that. And you knew he had eyes on her. You knew that. A woman cannot tell me, a grown woman cannot tell me she did not know. When a man has eyes for a female, especially if you attracted to the man. You can't tell me that. Because here's the thing, y'all. I can walk in a room, just say, for instance, me and my husband, we go out to eat. As soon as we hit the door, we looking around, looking looking where we're going to sit. And we're not only going to look where we sit, we're going to look, it's just nature. It's just by nature that we see the women and we see the men. We see who's looking at us. We see who's looking at him. We see that. Every time you walk in the room, you can be in your house. How people come in and they speak. You be at the store. You walking alone, your husband and your wife, you're walking. And as you pass somebody, you can feel if they're paying attention to who you're walking with, or if they're looking at you, or if they're looking at you, whatever. And if they look too much, exactly, we know. Radar. We know. So for this child to have relations with this man for years, two years, you cannot tell me you didn't see it or you didn't know. You knew. Now, men may be thinking, oh, every woman that has children or had a child knows. Or dated. You ain't even got to have kids. Dated. You know. You know when somebody's looking. You know when somebody's interested. You know when somebody's trying to be seen. You know when somebody's trying to get attention. You know. You know when somebody's being extra nice. You know when somebody shows up, how they trying not to look. You know. You know these things. A woman knows. I can't say what a man knows because I'm not a man. But as a woman, when I meet you, I know if you're interested in my husband. I know. I may not say nothing. I know if he's interested in you. And the interest may be, oh, he just likes what he sees. Or you like what you see. But I know. Whether you stare or peek or even if you glance for 1 second, I know. I don't know. I thought all women have that. People say it's a discernment. I don't know if everybody have it. I know I have it. It don't bother me for you to look, stare, peek, or whatever. It doesn't. But I know. It's what you do after all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's what he do after all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, I'm gonna give you guys a good scenario, and it's just true. Okay, we walk in, me and my husband, we walk into a restaurant, and we look around, and we gonna see where we're gonna eat. He looking to where we're gonna eat. Now he don't glance and stare at somebody like ooh or nothing. He just glance. Okay, there's a seat right there. We know where we want to position at. Okay, so we go and sit in the chair. Now, okay, I spotted 2 females already. Eye contact, We already got eye contact. Okay, we go sit down. We may sit by them or not by them. I be like, oh, I don't want to sit over there. I may sit opposite to make sure he can't sit where he's eye contacting them and they eye contacting him and me not know or whatever. But we're one. So I can sit where I want to sit. And I'm not a jealous female. I'm just telling you, I know women. I know. So sometimes if it's just, we're just checking out the surroundings, I don't care where we sit. If it's too much going on, I may sit where I can look at them. And if he wanted to look at them, he's got to turn around. And if he turns around, then his whole face is open up to a new a beginning. Let's just call it a new beginning. Like, no, you don't want to do that. It's called disrespect. It'll be very disrespectful. So if you're going to be very disrespectful, I want you to show me that you're going to be very disrespectful. And he's not going to do that. See what I'm saying? Exactly. It's an energy. So we know that energy, right? So with Jarvis being in the house all the time, Shannon, Annette, and Marquita, no. There's no evidence to have to show. Women know. And exactly, you stop stuff before it happens. That's what you got to do. I could tell y'all all kind of stories, but then y'all be like too much in my business. But like my youngest one or something, she looked like Beyonce. She does. She looks like Beyonce. Body and all. And everywhere she go, people will look at her. She's a kid. She's a kid. She was a baby, 11, 12 years old. And they will pay attention to her. Well, I know it. As long as they keep going, doing whatever they got to do, grown men, whatever. I'm not jealous. I just know that they're looking. And they're not looking. But here's the thing. You better not come up and approach her saying, hey, do you want some candy? I'm going to give you a ride. What's your favorite? Or even try to talk to her. Because that's my child. But I know. And this is why I tell you guys, when you guys think or thought, and we talked about this 2-3 years ago, that what you wear is not important. It is. It's very important. Now, I want to say this real quick, because there is some stuff going on with Miss Shirley, the little girl that does the dance with an old soul. She does the where's your fan at dance. And I mean, yeah. Some people can say wrong. Some people say right. The little girl, she can dance. I'd be like, whoa. But her mother is there with her. Is they teaching her wrong or teaching her right? And people down on the mom saying they done call CPS on her or whatever. I'm just saying. But this is what social media has done to our kids. They see this stuff, like I said, they see this stuff and it's a trend to do the dances that we do, and we're doing them. We're doing the dances. We're gapping our legs open. Open. How many times? Then you've got these pedophiles out there that, guess what? They are looking at this. They are looking at it. And they're getting their rocks off. And then they get to a point where if they even can get close to your child, you're probably going to have a problem. You may not even see it coming. They'd be like, hey, can I take you out to dinner? Oh, wow. You thinking they want you. You know what Kim Worthy said The number one thing she said, and I promise you, I am in full, trust me, I'm with her 100%. She said, and I quote, Jarvis met certain women to deal with their kids. He didn't get with these women because they looked good or whatever, or he wanted them. He wanted them kids. He wanted them kids. And if he couldn't get to a kid, he was making kids. I guarantee you, I bet you he looked at those videos before he went in and laid down with a grown woman. I bet you he did. That's what Kim Worthy said. She said, he met certain women to be with their kids. So while we were looking at, oh, the women didn't look so pretty, he didn't care what they looked like. As long as they had kids around them. And then she didn't have no kids. And you go, okay, she's different. Yeah, she probably didn't have kids around her, but she wanted kids. And not only that, we don't know if she had her nieces and nephews around her. Because she took off and ran. Man, you know why she ran? Because you can't tell her nothing. She in love with him. Can't tell her nothing. And then they be like, man, the family be on Facebook. We're looking for Nay. We're looking for Najee. For what? Grown woman. That's what she wants. She wants anybody that gives her some attention. She done already said it. And if you try to tell her something, she will block you. That's what these women do. They don't want you to tell them nothing. You can't tell them nothing. But one thing about it is nobody's protecting the kids anymore. You guys, I'm going to get off of here because it's really sad and sickening. Nobody's protecting these kids. So Naziah is just, we're going to have another Naziah and another Naziah and another Naziah. It's going to be nonstop. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here. You guys, I just wanted to share with you guys that story that the man, he found his daughter in a cold. They haven't recovered her where she's back at home or anything, but he do know that she is alive and she's in Detroit. And that gives me hope that maybe Naziah is where she's at. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Jarvis, because remember Jarvis supposedly had allegedly helped this girl. Well, found this girl on some kind of dating app and then allegedly, brought her to his house and drove her around or whatever. And then she said something about a phone and said that she had a baby when she didn't have a baby. And they talked him into sending her back home. And he took her to a bus stop, put her on the bus, and she went back home. Okay, well, a story like that makes me believe like maybe he do have some, some people say he's not a murderer, he's a rapist, he's a sex addict, and I mean, but it all goes in hand too, people that lie will steal, and people that steal will kill, and people that kill, I mean, it's never a stop when you cross over like that. I mean, and some Shannon did say, when your back is up against the wall, you will do whatever it takes. I can't foresee it. I can't foresee him taking her out knowingly doing it. I just can't foresee it. I can see him trying to get rid of the baby, trying to kill the baby, as far as giving her something to drink, and she died that way, or helping her run away and being somewhere. I don't know. You know? She said, personally, I am so sick of people trying to tell others how to raise their child. These women know what's going on in the world. The best thing we can do is pray for the children and the parents. You're right, woke the God. You are so right. People know. And you know, the sad thing about the whole situation, it's not getting better. It's not like, you know, we're putting things out there. Well, we're saying we're putting things out there to protect the kids. I haven't seen not one thing that's out there that's really protect the kids. Oh no, we put more alerts out there. Alert, alert. This is a red flag. You know, the red flag is, you know, make sure your kids dress properly and keep an eye on them. And yeah, if you got to go into their dresser and see what they're doing, and look on their Facebook and see what they're doing, be engaged in that right there. When people know that people are looking and watching, you know, people ain't gonna be so easy to come around thinking that they not going to go to prison or jail or die on that particular day fooling around with my kids, you know. Because see, when I'm around, I'm always paying attention to my kids because it's so much. These women can tell you all kind of stories about they're embarrassed. 90% of the women right now that's in here know what I'm talking about. They'll take it to the grave with them instead of telling somebody, you know what? You need to go take that off. Go put something nice on. And the kid be like, mind your business. It ain't gonna be my kids telling me that, because my kids will get slapped into next year. I'm just telling you. But kids these days, mind your business. Yeah, that's what they'll tell you to do when you try to tell them, and then the kid come up missing. So I get some people be like, you know, I tried to get some help or whatever, and this didn't happen, and you know, but the Lord tells us it's gonna be like this. So we're just gonna keep try to make sure everybody that does something away. She said, one, I know I said something. Anytime somebody even they thinking they gonna do something, you know. You know what I'm saying? Nope. Get out of here with that. She said it falls on deaf ears. Yes, it does. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow later on tonight. I might come back on later on. I doubt it tonight.